Hello, everybody. I want to talk to you for a minute about a woman of faith, Deborah. By the way, happy Monday. Um, Deborah was an Israeli woman. She was wise and brave. She was a judge and a prophet. Back then, judges weren't just uh, people that sat in the courtroom. They were leaders, people chosen by God. She was called to help the Israelites. Deborah lived under a palm tree, and people would come to her every day for advice, counsel, and guide. She listened to them and gave them messages according to God's word. Her strong faith and courage gave her the ability to lead. The Israelites trusted and respected her. She cared for her people and loved them. Israel had turned away from God, and for that they struggled. God sent the Canaanites to oppress them for 20 years so that they would realize their mistakes and turn back to God. The Israelites were not strong, not as strong as the Canaanites. The Israelites were mostly farmers, not warriors. So they were suppressed for 20 years, and their lives were hard and full of fear. Some of them were forced to live in caves to hide from their enemies, and they couldn't farm, and they couldn't travel safely because they feared attack. They knew they needed God's help, so they cried out to Him in prayer, and God heard their prayers and decided that it was time to help them. He chose Deborah to help and deliver them from their troubles. On the day when Deborah was sitting under her palm tree, she got a special message from God. He told her to talk to a man named Barak from the tribe of Nephilim. Now, I may not get these names right. So she talked to Barak, and he was a brave, respected leader. She told him that the Lord wanted him to take 10,000 men from his tribe, Nephilim, and from another tribe called Zebulun, and he wanted them to go to Mount Tabor and fight with the Israelis. Barak knew the battle would be hard, and Barak was afraid to face them. So he told Deborah that if she went with him, he would go. And Deborah showed him that if she went with him, that he would not get the honor of victory over Sisera. The honor would be given to a woman. So he agreed, and they prepared the troops for battle. The Israelites trusted in God, and they trusted in Barak and Deborah. When the war began to start, the river came crashing down on the Siserians army, and it would make it hard for them to use their fancy chariots in the water, which is what they depended on. The chariots couldn't operate right in the mud and the water. So Siserian army was overpowered by the Israelis, and Sisera began to flee. He ran until he was exhausted, and he stopped at a woman's tent, and she helped him. She gave him milk and let him rest. When he began to fall asleep, Jael, the woman, promised she would watch over him. She knew he was the enemy, and while he slept, she decided to act. She took a tent pick and hammered and drove it into his temple. So a woman had defeated Sisera like Deborah has said. When Barak arrived, Jael led him to the man that led Sisera's army and showed him what she had done. She had killed him. And they learned that their strength came from God. They rebuilt their lives. God can use anybody if we just trust in Him. And as always, I thank you for listening. Take care. Stay blessed.